This long-forgotten VHS footage of Prince Charles and Princess Diana was taken in 1983 when they officially opened Tauranga's Baycourt Community and Arts Centre. 40 years on, the footage was rediscovered and digitised as Baycourt prepares to celebrate its 40th anniversary. It's not known who took the footage or what it was for, but local folk has tracked down two people who attended the royal opening, both with very different stories to tell.
I'm Mary Dillon, and I was the Mayor's wife. In 1983, I was the Mayoress.
Mary had the honour of sitting next to Princess Diana, where the pair talked about family life.
She was well informed about my 6 children. She knew I had 3 girls, and she knew that one of them was doing the presentation to her of a bouquet. So it was basically about family, just really general things that you'd expect to talk to somebody you just met for the first time. You know, that's Ray, that's my late husband, who was part of the ceremonies obviously during the day. The 2 speakers were him as the Mayor and obviously His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, so the 2 of them were the speaker.
Husband Raymond Francis Dillon was Mayor of Tauranga from 1980 to 83. Mary says he took the royal visit well within his stride.
Ray was a pretty well versed speaker. He was a lawyer by trade, so he didn't have much trouble speaking, and so I think he just said what was in his head and his heart.
What do you remember of that day and the lead up to it?
I think it was just the excitement of the preparation, getting everything ready and lined up, because the aim was, of course, to have it as perfect as we could possibly get it for the day and as welcoming as we could possibly get it, and also to make sure that the whole day was organised so that for the short time they were here, as many people as possible could see the Prince and Princess.
While the Queen had visited the region 30 years earlier, this visit had the X factor.
This one was particularly exciting because Diana was so young. They had the new baby, of course, and they were quite newly married. Their relationship was considered to be really romantic at that particular point. History proved otherwise, but at that particular point, they were certainly regarded as a sort of almost a dream couple.
4 decades on, Mary can still remember the effect the princess had on the public.
It was really interesting, the effect that she had on people, and I guess that always remained, was that there were grown men there with tears in their eyes.
On the other side of the security cordon on that day was local photographer Ross Brown.
I was the chief photographer at the Bay of Plenty Times from November 1970 right through till November 2001. It was a huge buzz the day. A lot of people lined the streets early in the morning, and great anticipation, everyone excited, great mood, no protest type things. It was just everyone was out for a great day and to see this couple. Of course, we had the newspaper waiting deadlines. I think we printed at 2 o'clock in those days, so we were waiting for the photographs, all black and white, film and developing in the darkroom stuff, so it's not quite as quick as digital as snapping a picture and transmitting it.
The biggest impression left with Ross wasn't to do with the royal couple, but rather the English media that followed the royals to Tauranga.
There was just so many of them, like 20 or 25 photographers, all in front, well versed in street photography fighting, I would guess. And we tried to make our way up the front, and of course us local photographers who weren't really into all this got sort of elbowed out and shoved down the back, because these photographers from England who had colour film, which was exciting because we only had black and white. They had motor-driven cameras, we just had the old click and mod, and they were chung 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 chung, all this film was going, burning off. It was quite amazing actually.
Not wanting the paparazzi to muscle in on their turf, the local media pulled a few strings of their own.
In a small town like this, we all knew the local cops, like we attended many incidents together. I gave a bit of a word to them and got down the line, and then they pushed all the foreign photographers back to give us a chance. We couldn't see anything. Yeah, a few of my mates in the old police force then winked a nod, and they pushed these other guys back and let us get through the front. Much to their disgrace, because it was their royal family, and what do these hick town people think they're doing? But, small town, we got our way, and it was pretty exciting, really.
Back to the present day, from April the 21st to 29th, a variety of performances and events will take place around the city to celebrate Baycourt's 40th.
We have gone out to the community, all our amazing arts organisations, and said who wants to be a part of this celebration of Baycourt's 40 years. So you'll see the likes of Tauranga Musical Theatre on stage, you'll see the amazing Opus Orchestra, Te Wharekura o Mauao, who have performed here 2 or 3 times now, local Māori immersion school that do incredible work. Then we move on to an exhibition that we've partnered with the Incubator Creative Hub, and that is essentially looking back through our archives, taking a lot of those amazing photos that have been taken over the years and giving them another life. We've also got a whānau day, which will take place to bookend the program on the 29th of April, and we're basically throwing open the doors to Baycourt. Full guided tours of the venue.
Baycourt was opened on April 26, 1983, after the community rallied together to raise funds for the project.
So it was very clearly established as a community arts centre, so it was very much at the core of what the facility was set up to do. The approval to go ahead to build Baycourt was contingent on $250,000 of public money being raised in sponsorship, and in fact they raised $400,000, so almost double what was required, because that was the sense in the community at the time of how important this building was. 70% of the events that we host at Baycourt are community driven, so that's a really high percentage, and I think that talks to a little bit the sense of ownership that Tauranga has over this amazing building.
And while there aren't any plans for another royal visit anytime soon, Mary hopes a seed her husband planted 40 years ago might come to fruition.
Ray did invite, a little bit against protocol I think, but he did invite Prince Charles to let Prince William know that one day we would love to see him back here opening something. So maybe that's something we should think about in relation to the refurbishment of the downtown area and the council's buildings there, to see whether in fact Prince William and Catherine, the Duke and Duchess, the Prince and Princess of Wales now, aren't they? Might come back and do something here. That would be pretty exciting for quite a few people in Tauranga, I think.
Check out Baycourt's website for details on all the events and performances to mark the anniversary. Gavin Ogden, Local Focus.